Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Purple Penny Coin News video. My name's Mark. I own and run the Purple Penny along with my wife Catherine. The Purple Penny is a small coin dealer in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, a place called Mawson Lakes. We've been here for a bit over 4 years. We've been doing these videos for over 3 years. Now, someone's already complaining about there being no sound, but I can see the little sound bar thing going. So please, everyone, just let me know if you've got sound or not. We had a very busy week last week. We are getting ready for the Adelaide Coin and Banknotes Expo, which is about 2 weeks and 5 days away, on October the 7th and 8th here in Adelaide at the Torrens Parade Ground. The Royal Australian Mint is in attendance, free parking, free admission, 26 or 27 dealers in attendance, and if you are interested in keeping up to date on that, go and follow the Expo Facebook page. Catherine and I will be at the Expo right by the door in our usual spot. There will be a limited edition PNC, a pair of PNCs put out for the show. Good luck getting those. Each dealer's only getting 5 or so it's going to be very difficult getting hold of those. I'm sure other dealers will be having products that they bring along. Do head over to the Expo Facebook page and have a look at the dealer list. And if dealers are coming from outside of the state and you have a look at their websites and see anything you like, just send them a message and ask them to bring things along for you to look at, because I'm sure they would be happy to be bringing things in that they think they can sell. What happened last week? We bought, last week we bought some lovely Parliament florins, and I will do some videos of those next week with the most amazing toning on them. They are without a doubt the nicest group of toned Parliament florins we've ever had. There was some nice British sixpences and shillings in that lot as well, and I will share those videos with you next week, I hope. Now we'll just jump into the news. There's the Expo slide there. If you are in Adelaide, do come along to the Expo, please. Right, let's have a look at $5 heritage coins. We did talk about $5 heritage coins last week, and I had a look at the auction and bin prices on eBay, bin being buy it now. I will just say that I find that the auction prices are a more reliable indicator of actual value, because many of the buy it now prices are primarily set by people who are holding the coins and have paid a certain price for them. So for example, they might have paid $175 for their heritage $5 coin and are trying to sell it for $200. They are unwilling to let it go for under $175. So the buy it now prices are often quite a bit higher, whereas the auction prices are more what people are willing to pay at that moment in time. So I thought I would go through and plug all of the auction prices since last Tuesday into a spreadsheet and graph them for you. Sorry, we just had a visitor come into the shop. So let's have a look at that graph here. So this is just a carry on from last week's. So if you have a look at that graph, what I've done is I have put the last 7 days results in the top one there. It's just a scatter plot. Each day's sales results are shown there with different highlights, and the previous day's results from last week are shown there as well. So you can see a definite trend downwards there, with auction prices last week pretty firmly in the $200 plus range. This week they have fallen below that and are trending downwards to below 150 with the occasional outlier. I will just say that having a look at the auction results, that some of the eBay sellers consistently achieve prices that are $50 or $60 more than everyone else, which says to me that there's probably some sort of suspicious bidding activity going on there. So if you are thinking about buying one at auction on eBay, please do check out that seller's sales history, especially if it's an auction, and just make sure that there is no discrepancy with the auction prices that they are achieving consistently. Rick, these are just eBay. I don't have enough time to follow auctions on Facebook. eBay data is there and available for everyone to see. If anyone's got any different results on Facebook and like to share that data with me, I'll talk about that next week. So as usual, the price of these things is trending downwards, as they always do. You know, I suspect longer term they'll probably settle in the $75 to $100 range, which for a $5 coin isn't too bad. But you know, $30,000 isn't 30,000 mintage isn't a small mintage, and there was certainly a huge amount of fear of missing out with this release that drove the price up hugely, very quickly. And again, you know, there are still somehow many people getting hold of lots of these coins, and purely for reselling and speculation, which is disappointing. It prevents people from getting the coin that they want. But that's the way of the world in coin collecting at the moment. We can complain and carry on about it, or we can just accept it and move forward. It's a good thing for the hobby that there is this demand at the moment. And as I always say, you know, try and get these things at release price, and if you can't, just wait several months, because the price of most things does settle down over time. I was talking to Catherine just the other day about the Smith family coin that was released on the same day as the Red Poppy. You couldn't get one of those for love or money on release day, and the prices really surged with those, but now they are just selling for basically release price. So these less popular denominations, the price you could suggest might drop a bit faster. Right, so let's just say a few hellos to people here. Thank you everyone for watching. We're up to 50 viewers today, which is quite a good number for us. Hello Tanya, Nelson, Peter, Michelle, Brett, Tony, Shane, Gwen, Sandra, Adam, Wendy, Gloria, Aaron, John, Rick, Antonius, Greg, Mike, and Patrick. Alright, Patrick. Patrick says he's met a guy that buys in bulk just to sell on the internet, meaning that all my orders have been cancelled, losing interest in collecting. Patrick, I've said to you many times, because you are a regular in here and I do understand that you live a long way away, that when you know a release is coming up, you can let us know if you're interested in it, and we'll do our best to put one aside for you, allocations allowing, so that you don't have to fight with those people in the post office. That's about the only advice I can offer you. You got to remember, these people that are running the post offices, you know, they're running a business, and if they can sell the whole lot in one transaction, it is easier for them, and I do understand why they do it. Hello David, how are you? Thanks for watching today. Hello Graham as well. Right, next news item is so-called the Muddy Horde, which was found in Cambridgeshire in England in 2021. There were over 6,000 or over 9,000 base metal Roman coins found, basically small change. Some of them were silvered, and by silvered I mean they were struck from brass or bronze and then silver plated or silver dipped in an attempt to pass them off as higher denomination coins. So this is the biggest coin find in Cambridgeshire. It is probably, according to experts, within the top 10 coin finds in the British Isles. They all date from the 4th century AD, and apparently from the time of a rebellious Western Empire. So there was a revolution in Rome, and an imposter emperor set up an empire in the west of the country, the empire, sorry, and that included Britain. And in times of unrest, often people would bury their money, and in this case they buried it in 2 clay pots. It was dug up a few years ago, and it was acquired by the Norris Museum in St Ives. Apparently it's their biggest ever acquisition. Now what is really interesting about it is that the Roman Empire could not supply enough coinage to Britain, and the locals took it upon themselves to make their own imitation coins that looked like Roman coins, so that they had some money. So almost all of the coins in this hoard are imitations, which I found really interesting. And that practice of creating imitation coins because of a lack of money and to provide accepted currency was still happening 1,000 years later, which segues nicely into our next item here, was about a silver coin that was found in a medieval town in Bulgaria. So Bulgaria being northwest of Turkey, it was found in the city of, hang on a second, in the city of Rusocastro, which is a medieval village in Bulgaria, and you can see on the map there that it's northwest of Istanbul. What's really interesting about this coin is that it's actually an imitation silver coin. It's an imitation of a Viennese, Venetian Ducato or Grosso, which is a small penny-sized silver coin. They were the most widely accepted coins in that area, and to try and produce money that was accepted in Bulgaria, local minters would create coins that were imitating those Venetian coins. What's interesting is that one side of the coin, and the coin that was found is shown at the top left there, depicts St. Stephen and Jesus, and you can see the real coin at the bottom there has the same design on it. So again, interesting that locals would produce imitation coins to make their coins more readily acceptable and spendable. Not a problem that we suffer these days in developed economies like ours, but certainly in poorer economies such as Zimbabwe, local coins are not well accepted, and locals prefer to deal in stable currencies like pounds and US dollars. So this is still going on today. Now, I thought what I would do next is, no, we'll just jump to this story instead. Sorry, a bit of a dense read there, but CBS, Columbia Broadcasting Systems, I think, in the USA, have been running a series of stories about owning gold and silver and the virtues of investing in it. And they had a terrible article last week on how to determine if your gold or silver is real. If you are thinking about investing in gold or silver and you are not sure whether it's real or not, do not ask a reporter, because a reporter will spend 35 seconds searching on Google and lift content from other websites and post up basically uneducated rubbish. And if you have a look at that list of items there, they are bordering on 4 of the least useful ways of telling whether gold or silver is real. We've got a magnet test, well, that's okay. Then we've got a float test. Apparently real gold should sink faster than fake gold, which is of course ludicrous. The ping test, now this is a legitimate test for testing of silver. I've never seen it used for gold. If I was going to buy gold or silver, I would make sure I was buying it from a reputable dealer and not rely on simple tests like this. Sure, it's worthwhile educating yourself to understand the basics, but this article is trash. I don't really know how else to put it. The fact that the reporter seems to think that gold will sink faster in water than perhaps gold-plated lead is ludicrous. Now, we had a number of people ask us questions last week about PCGS grading of coins, and that's because we posted up a picture of some 2012 and 2022 red poppies on our Facebook page. If you are new to coin collecting, or perhaps you've come over from trading cards or things like that, then you may or may not be aware that coins can be graded by third-party companies. And here in Australia, at least, the most widely accepted third-party grading company is PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, who are in the USA. They have grading centres in the USA, Europe and Hong Kong. And basically the process is that you would send them a coin, and then that coin is shown to 2 separate graders. If the graders agree on a grade, then excuse me for 1 second. If graders agree on the grade, then the coin is encapsulated along with a label showing what the grade is, or perhaps that the coin didn't grade. If the two graders don't agree on a grade, there's a tiebreaker. And I guess the thing about PCGS is that they are an impartial grading service. They don't have any skin in the game with regards to what grade your coin is. They just grade it according to their standards, and that's it. Now, why do you get a coin graded? Because people are chasing the highest quality coins possible. Now, back when more people were collecting pre-decimal coins, grading was a much more widely spread skill amongst collectors. And there are guides and things like that around to help you grade pre-decimal coins. And of course, the value of pre-decimal coins is hugely dependent on the grade of the coin. When it comes to modern coins, though, it is a significantly more difficult exercise because people often just submit modern coins straight from the mint packaging, and there is a belief that, you know, if it comes straight from the mint, straight out of the packaging, then the coin is as close to perfect as makes no difference. Now, of course, that isn't the case. Every production system has variation in it and produces products of variable quality. So that means if you were to come and buy some new release mint product from us and then send it off to PCGS, there are no guarantees as to the grade because you have no idea whether the coins you are sending are good ones or bad ones. When we get someone coming in here with a C Mint Mark $2 coin and they say, should we get it graded? Catherine and I always answer the same way. It's what are your reasons for getting it graded? How much does it cost you? And do you know if your coin is a good coin or a bad coin? And most of the time people don't know whether their coin is a good coin or a bad coin. And now that's not in comparison to any other types of coins, that's in comparison to the coins of the same type. Catherine and I have an advantage here in the shop in that we can look at a lot of coins and we often get a feeling for what makes a good coin of a particular type in isolation from coins of other types. So what I thought I would do is share some of our results with you because we had a PCGS submission come back over the last few weeks that included some modern coins. Catherine and I don't get many modern coins graded. There's a few reasons for that. One is that we prefer to sell the coins to our customers. Two is that we don't have enough time to look through them, but sometimes when, as we're buying things on the secondary market, we do get a little stockpile of coins and we'll look through them, and if we believe that some of the coins are better, we will shoot off a modern submission, but we don't do it as much as what we'd like, and certainly not as much as what we should. What I am going to share with you now is some results of some $2 coins that we had graded. There were 3 groups of $2 coins that we sent off to get graded, and these were sent in February this year, so it's taken the best part of 7 or 8 months to get these back. We sent off some 2023 Tooth Fairies, 2022 Red Poppies, and 2022 Honeybees. Now what I've got there is I've got a line for the overall population of the coin type and then the results that we got back. So for example, the Tooth Fairy there, we can see that 1% of the coins that have been graded at PCGS have graded at MS66, 61% have graded MS67, 38% have graded MS68, and 1% have graded MS69. So, that suggests that 1% of coins, so 1 in 100 coins that get sent over to PCGS grades MS69. MS69 is 1 point off of the highest grading possible, and there are only about 26 coins that have been graded MS69 for the 2022 Red Poppy. Catherine and I sent over a group of coins, and 15% of the coins that we sent over graded MS69. So what have we done there? We have looked through as many of these coins as we can and picked out what we believe to be the best ones, and as such the results that we have are skewed towards the top end. If you were to just buy up as many 2022 red poppies as you can on release day and just send them across, then you are going to get the distribution that is shown there for the overall population. You need to look at your coins before you get them graded. So if we were to talk about MS67 2022 red poppies, they are selling for about $250 to $275, and you can get just over $200 for a red poppy in a card. So there is marginal economic worth in sending over to an MS67. And according to PCGS's statistics, about 2/3 of the red poppies are MS67s. What does that mean for you if you're thinking about sending over red poppies? Have a look at some MS67s and compare them to your carded coins and see how they compare. If you believe that they are similar, don't send them because the economics of it isn't there. If you believe that they're better, then send them. How do we go with tooth fairies? We ended up with 15% of our coins grading MS69. How did we go with honeybees? Well, with honeybees are a bit more interesting. We sent over 18 coins and we got 18 MS68s. But again, that is sort of skewed towards the top end of the population, with about half of the coins grading under MS68. So, you know, as a coin collector and looking to make some money out of this, just sending over what you buy is fraught with danger, because you need to, as Peter said, cherry pick the coins that you send over. If you just buy one coin and send it across, it is completely random as to what you are going to get. Now, if you want to think about something interesting, go and have a look at the comparison chart of the 2012 red poppy and the 2022 red poppy. They have quite different distributions, and I have seen some people suggesting that the quality of the 2022 coins is better according to that distribution, or sorry, the quality is worse because the percentage of MS69s for the 2022 red poppy is a lot less than the 2012s. But I would suggest that people think about the submission process. The number of people that can afford a 2012 C mint mark red poppy is quite small, because they are worth several $100s, and the number that is sent across is much less, and I would suggest people are much more careful about those when they send them across, because the investment involved is so much higher. Compare that with the 2022 red poppy, which I would suggest was much more commonly available on release day and could be bought for $15. That gave a lot more people the financial wherewithal to actually buy one and send it across. So is the quality of the 2022 red poppies better or worse than the 2012s? You can't tell from the statistics because the submission behaviour is significantly different. It is significantly different. When you could get them for $15, the 2022s were a cheap way of getting a coin graded. Not many people have $600 or $700 to buy a 2012 coin and send it across, and if they do, they're a lot more careful with them. Right, that's PCGS grading and why you should look at your coins before you send them. As I said, Catherine and I don't do as many moderns as we should, and that's mainly due to time, and sometimes I do regret it, but that's just the way it is here in the shop. We are very busy, but if you out there are thinking about coins, getting coins graded, then by all means make sure your coin is a good one before you send it across. Right, I think we're going to wind it up there. We'll just have a look at some questions here. Peter says he never knew that gold sank in water. Thanks, Peter. I didn't know that either, but thank you to the journalist at CBS. We now know that. Stephen wants to know what's heavier, 100 kilos of gold or feathers? That's a good question. Hello, Andrew. Nelson says he doesn't have the patience to wait to get coins PCGS graded. It does take a long time. Our advice, if you're going to get coins graded, is to just pretend they don't exist once they've left. Hello, Miriana. Justin, did you send them to US or HK? All of our coins go to the US, Justin. We use Eric at Drake Sterling Coins for our submissions, and I believe he sends everything to the US. Peter says, so children, cherry pick your coins before sending them. Hi, Peter. Good results there. Stephen, well done. David says that's a fascinating chart, or one might say PCGS differentiated more so. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, David. Hello, Detlef. And Wendy says 2022 poppies, 960 MS68s, 26 MS69s versus 2012, 385 versus 44. So that's a really interesting set of numbers there, Wendy. Yes, the percentage of 2012 says MS69s is higher, but as I said, that might just be because people are much more careful when they send them across. Right, that's it for this week. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you everyone for your comments and questions and taking part. It is much appreciated. These videos are fun. If you've got any questions for me, then please email me or give us a phone call or send us a Facebook message, and I'll do my best to do something next week. I think we might be due for a Q&A next week, so if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer those next week. Thank you everyone for watching. Happy collecting, stay safe, and bye for now.